of them actually care. This naturally didn't make him any less enthusiastic about it. Being as I didn't suffer from quite the same level of internal motivation, I lingered in bed for as long as possible, at which point I needed to be shaken out of it. Quite literally. I have hearing loss. It started in my early 30s, and now, in my mid-40s, it was profound enough that no alarm clock could break through the bubble of quiet that surrounded me when I slept without my earpieces in. What I had instead was a contraption that began vibrating my bed. The pulses grew stronger until I finally succumbed to its demands. On the rare mornings when he actually did linger in bed, Matt still whispered in my ear, giving me the pleasure of feeling his breath and the low vibration of his voice. I could no longer hear his gentle North Carolina twang, or make out the actual words, but I always told him it was better that way. What woman wouldn't like a husband who always says the perfect thing? Still, I had to admit, Matt did pretty well for himself, even when I wasn't imagining the script. I was 5 years older than him, and was really starting to feel, 44. My once lustrous brown hair had become dull and gray-streaked. My hourglass figure was sliding south, such that it now more resembled a spoon. And I hated what was happening to my neck. Matt earnestly insisted I was only becoming more beautiful as I aged, which just meant that in addition to his other talents, he was also a gifted liar. Alas, there was no whispering this morning. Matt's side of the bed was cold by the time my half began shaking at 6:30. I resisted it as long as I dared, then put in my hearing aids and began focusing on Morgan, our irrepressible 9-year-old. Matt and I had always planned on having more children, until we actually had one. Then we decided that was enough. Being a family of 3 seemed to fit us. Matt was always reminding me the triangle is the strongest shape in nature. Once I got myself ready and Morgan off to the bus, I reported to my job at Baker Library, Dartmouth College's stately main branch. I work in cataloging and acquisitions, the perfect position for someone with hearing loss because it doesn't require a lot of conversation. It was the first Monday of February. Another cold gray day in Hanover, New Hampshire, a place where winter only feels like it lasts forever. A little after 10, I got a text from Matt. He was just getting out of a meeting with Sean Plotner, a rich alum who was considering making a substantial gift to Dartmouth. The meeting had gone a little too well, apparently, because Plotner had taken up nearly an hour of Matt's day. Otherwise, I was just sitting at my desk typing an email when my phone began flashing, which I saw before the faint ringing sound managed to penetrate my hearing aid. And because my phone had a digital clock on it, I could tell you with precision. It was 11:09 a.m. The call was coming from the main number at the Dartmouth College Department of Physics and Astronomy, which was how Matt's work number appeared on my caller ID. Matt didn't bother calling most of the time. He knew that even though my phone was equipped with captioning, I preferred text or email. He only called when he wanted to say something lovely and endearing, or naughty, which was why I answered with, "Hey, sexy." And then I both listened and watched as the screen spit out, "Hello, Brigid. It's Beppy Valentino." I blushed. Beppy was Matt's department chair, a theoretical physicist whose Italian accent sometimes challenged my phone's voice recognition software. "Oh, Beppe, I thought you were—" "I know. Look, I'm sorry, but something's wrong with Matt. He's having some kind of seizure."
Chapter 2. Sean Plotner had never been sure when the boredom set in. Definitely not during the first billion. He was all in during the first billion. The second billion had kept his attention as well. He loved the chase, the deal, having his investing talents more widely acknowledged.